Hello everyone, it's Tana. Welcome back to the Rabbit Hole Designs YouTube channel. Today I have a new release for you guys. That's right, the new release for January just went up. This one is called Blooming Heart. It's got a couple sentiments with it. And then the stamp set is called Sweet Wishes. I will read sentiments as we get on in the video. This one's called Love Puffin. Those puffins are so adorable. I think that's my favorite stamp set this month. And we have some You've Been Framed dies. So we have some dies to use on our card fronts, our card panels. There's 3 different sizes here, and they're dots and dashes. And then we have 2 sentiment strips. And then we have this, looks to me like a sunburst. I'm going to use it in today's video. And then we have the Love and Heart die. This is a free with $75 purchase. You'll need to add it to your cart, and the discount, if it applies, will be added upon checkout. You can also order this separately, and it's while supplies last. And then we have the Year 4 birthday. Now, this is not part of the January release. This came out all by itself right before the January release. Happy birthday to the Rabbit Hole Designs. And we have the enamel dots. We have white enamel, clear enamel, and glitter clear enamel. And I have colored on the clear ones with Copics, so you can make them any color you want. It's pretty awesome. Okay, moving on to today's video. I'm going to stamp out this sweet little cupcake from Sweet Wishes on Tim Holtz Distress Watercolor cardstock. I don't end up using it in today's video. I will use it in the next video. And while you watch me doing that, I'm going to ink it up with Versamark Nocturne ink and heat emboss it with clear embossing powder. We're going to read some sentiments. So in the Blooming Heart stamp set, we have You Make My Heart, and then you have Happy or Bloom. In the Sweet Wishes stamp set, you have You're the Cherry on Top. Thank you for making the world suck less. Now I don't know if you noticed, there's 3 suckers in that stamp set. Back to the card. I have some Simon Says Stamp heat resistant acetate here. And I'm going to stamp out that Blooming Heart on 2 different pieces of acetate. I thought I was going to make 2 cards with the acetate. Only one has acetate, but still. I powdered up both sides of my acetate with the cotton or the powder tool. And now we're going to go ahead and ink that up with the VersaFine Clear Nocturne ink. So the suckers on that stamp set, I think, are perfect for that. Thank you for making the world suck less. This world suck less. For my sweet friend, and you're so sweet. Okay, so the first time I inked up this heart on the acetate, like I said, I powdered both sides twice. Now this clear embossing powder I'm using isn't what I usually use. This was from way back when I started card making, and I have all these embossing powders in 3 little clear drawers that I'm trying to get rid of so I can use it for something else, and I don't want to just throw it away. Anyway, I put it on the acetate, can't talk today, and man did it stick. Like, having it in that plastic drawer gave it static all its own, and then I put it on top of acetate, and it didn't matter that it was powdered. So this second panel, I went back to my normal out of the bottle clear embossing powder, and it worked a lot better. So I don't know what it was about that 3-drawer container, or maybe the embossing powder is just too old. I don't know. We're talking about 7 years here at this point. So now on the first panel, I'm going to color with my Copic markers. No shading, just simple 1 color per image. I am coloring on the back, not the part I heat embossed, but on the back of that, because I want it to look like stained glass when I flip it back over. And it's going to be in kind of a unique shaker card when we're done with it. So I'm going to skip the coloring, I guess. I forgot I did that. Showed you 3 flowers to kind of get the idea, and we're moving on. Now I have some Canson XL watercolor cardstock, and I'm just kind of marking off where I should watercolor. And I have the new Zig palette of colors, and they're all swatched out here. And I went with some pinks and purples that I thought would match my already Copic colored Blooming Heart. I did end up adding red at the top and bottom of this panel, and you'll see that when we get to this card second in the video. Excuse me, a little bit of heartburn going on here. And while you watch me do this, I don't do the whole thing, just a couple of stripes. We're going to go to the Love Puffin sentiments. We have You're Puffin Awesome, I Puffin Love You, For My Stud Puffin, Have a Puffin Good Birthday, I'd Be Puffin Without You, You're My Love Puffin. There's my watercolor panel all finished and heat set. And now I'm going to take 2 pieces of white cardstock and I'm taping them together. I don't recommend that. It was very hard, even with a glue eraser to adhesive eraser, to get that stickiness from my tape off after I ran it through. But I needed them to match up exactly. And I'm labeling them front and inside. And make sure that inside one stays face up because you need it to line up with the scalloped heart or whichever die you use exactly. Now I'm going to take this like sunburst and I'm adhering it to the front panel of my card upside down, so it kind of looks like the burst is coming from the bottom of the heart. And now I'm going to adhere acetate, regular acetate, to the card that says inside. The panel, excuse me, it says inside. Right over the word inside. And I'm going to take my Blooming Heart and I'm going to make sure that I adhere this smooth side up so that my heat embossed image is facing out through the scalloped card that will be facing the front of the card, if that makes sense. Smooth side up so that you can read front on your card panel. So confusing, but you want the stamped or the heat embossed image to stare at you when the card's all finished, if that makes sense. Okay, and then I'm going to glue that inside panel to the inside of the card after I cut another heart out of it. So everything lines up perfectly. Now I'm going to put some doubled up adhesive, foam adhesive, curve it around my heart and then around the rest of that card panel. The year 4 birthday sentiments are birthday, happy, belated, wishes. So you have a lot of options there. Happy birthday, belated happy birthday, birthday wishes. You can even say happy wishes, belated wishes. Lots of things to say there. So now I'm going to fill my seed beads and sequins into the inside of my shaker card. And I'm putting glue on my foam adhesive. And this was kind of difficult to line up. This is the part where I needed to make sure all those hearts line up. So even though I did it with a perfect centered frame on the front of the card, it was harder to see that scalloped heart when I was gluing that front panel on. So even though it looks like it lines up, it doesn't look as centered on the front of the card, if that makes sense. But it's white on white, so it's not like it really stands out. Then I'm going to take one of those sentiment strips from the You've Been Framed dies, and I stamped out You Make My Heart, and on the inside it says happy. Now I'm going to use some of those glitter and the clear enamel dots, definitely can't speak this morning, and adhere those to the top right and bottom left of the card, and then one after the word heart. And it gives it a cool shaker stained glass effect. I really like the way that card turned out. For the second card, we have a piece of Scarlet Organza Tonic Satin Effect mirrored cardstock and double-sided adhesive on the back of that. And you know I like to cut the inside out. I don't like to waste the mirrored cardstock. And then I have that panel that I watercolored strips onto. I used the middle-sized You've Been Framed panel die. And I put Altenew adhesive, foam adhesive on the back. Added a little bit of glue to that. Centered it onto our Scarlet Organza frame. Or mat, if you want to call it a mat. I put some foam tape on the back of my colored Blooming Heart, centered it into the front of the panel, and then I did For My Sweet Friend from the Sweet Wishes stamp set onto a black sentiment strip. The sentiment strip from You've Been Framed, but I just trimmed that little slash off so that it would just come neatly across my card. And now I'm adding yellow gems to the center of each flower. And that's it for the second card, guys. I hope you liked today's video. Lots of stuff to see for this month's release. Don't forget to sign up for the Rabbit Hole Designs email so you can be aware of all new releases. And don't forget to check out the design team on Instagram. Always inspiration every day to look at. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye for now.